Okay, this is a dissection of a clam. We'll be going over external anatomy first. The first thing I want to address with you are the growth rings. There are growth rings running along the body from anterior to posterior end. There are several growth rings all along the valve. Typically indicates times of plenty versus times of scarcity, so it's very similar to tree rings. This is the dorsal side of the clam, and this very top part right here, this little bump out, is the umbo. This is the oldest part of the valve, or the oldest part of the shell. This is a valve, and it has two valves, which is why it is part of class bivalvia. The valve is the shell, which protects the inside of the clam. If we open up the clam, we have what are called hinge teeth. There are hinge teeth right along here that fit in with this valve. There's a hinge right here that fits in with this valve, and then here's the cardinal hinge teeth. This helps prevent the valves from sliding along each other, keeps them in place. There was a ligament right here, and it attached right here. The ligament is posterior to the umbo, and the ligament is what actually holds the clam together. Then there are anterior and posterior adductor muscles. You can actually see the scars of the anterior adductor muscle right here. It used to sit along the clam's body right here, and then this one sat right about here, and these were responsible for being able to close the two main parts of the clam's body are the head foot and the visceral mass. The visceral mass is located more dorsal in the body cavity and contains most of the major organs of the clam. The mantle is located pretty much right alongside of the valves on the inner portion. So this structure right here, and it actually covered the entire inside of the valve. And there's this much thicker portion of the mantle right here. So this whole thing was mantle, and this. You can actually see the mantle is pretty well intact on this valve. The mantle is responsible for secreting the shell, and it's also responsible for secreting this substance right here. It's a smooth, somewhat pearlescent substance right here, and this is known as nacre. This is what gets secreted to help keep the inside of the clam smooth, and it also gets secreted in case there are any irritants or parasites that come into the body. The nacre will get secreted around the irritant or parasite, and they'll keep secreting it until it's nice and smooth, and then it can be ejected from the body or retained within the body wall if it can't eject it, and then it will eventually potentially turn into a pearl. Back towards the posterior end of the body, we have two siphons. I'm going to move them upwards so you can see them. It did get bisected during the actual cut. Let's try to open the clam. So I'm going to try to hold it together so that you can see them. This siphon right here is actually the ventral of the two, and this is the in-current siphon. The siphon that's up here is the dorsal siphon, or the excurrent siphon. So water will enter the clam through the in-current siphon and exit the clam through the excurrent siphon. And during the clam's life, it really doesn't necessarily need to open up very frequently. We also have gills, which are these ridged structures right here. There's a pair of gills on this side of the clam, and then you'll find another pair of gills exactly on the opposite side of the clam underneath the visceral mass there. The gills are responsible for gas exchange, so carbon dioxide will leave across the surface of the gills and oxygen will enter through the gills and go into the circulatory system. Moving towards the anterior end of the clam, we have this structure right here, and this is called a palp. The palp is actually responsible for sweeping food into the clam's mouth, which we aren't going to really be able to see because it's fairly small. It's right about this general area right here. And then the foot of the clam is this muscular structure right here. It's responsible for motility. This tissue right here formed a structure around the heart called the pericardium. The root peri, P-E-R-I, means around, and cardi means heart. So this whole tissuey structure was found around the heart, serves as a barrier and protects the heart. And then we have the clam's heart right here. Consists of 2 auricles and a ventricle, and it's responsible for pumping blood, or the clam's version of blood, which is hemolymph, all around the body. Clams have what's known as an open circulatory system because their blood isn't always necessarily confined to vessels. Their blood can also be found in blood sinuses. There's actually a relatively large blood sinus located near the foot, and it helps bathe the foot in blood so that it can receive more oxygen in order to be able to move. Okay, moving on to the clam's digestive system, we have the intestine, which is located pretty much just posterior to the heart. The intestine is responsible for carrying digestive wastes out of the clam. The intestine does not have the exact same function in every organism that we're going to be studying in zoology this year. This particular intestine does not absorb nutrients. The nutrients are absorbed in the digestive gland area. But this intestine in particular is going to carry digestive wastes out into the mantle cavity, and they should be pushed out via the excurrent siphon. I'm going to go ahead and dissect open the visceral mass right now so that we can see the digestive gland. Okay, so now this is a bisected visceral mass, and we can see that there are a couple of different colors that we're looking at, and the colors are actually different organs. This greenish colored organ right here is the digestive gland, so it's going to be responsible for a lot of the nutrient absorption. This gap right here is actually the stomach of the clam. Our final structure is a reproductive structure. This tannish colored area right here is the clam's gonad. We don't know if this clam is male or female because we aren't able to tell if this is producing sperm or eggs. The rest of the anatomy of the inside of the clam really doesn't look that different based on if it's a male or a female clam, but this particular clam is one or the other. So these right here would be, this gonad would be producing either sperm or eggs during the life of this particular clam. So the digestive gland is green and anterior. The gonad is more tan and a little bit more posterior.